Welcome to the Prop Line Thanksgiving and Black Friday edition. The only show where two-thirds of the hosts celebrate Thanksgiving and probably even know what Black Friday is. Corbin, can you imagine a
I know
Friday
what
after?
I know. We have Black Friday over here now.
Is it as a nightmare?
It's not as chaos as like I. It's
there's
always
not
fun.
viral videos.
Back in
There's not
back in
death.
back in school, we used to load up like the news page for Black Friday during like IT, and used to just sit there and it's like woman like attacks four for like
Okay, so he gets it.
40-inch
He
TV
gets
that's
it.
60% off.
Yeah,
So
you're in the holiday spirit. Okay,
it's
so
always an entertaining watch.
I did it once just to say I've done it, and I've had better ideas in my life. We'll just
What
leave it.
what
we'll just
what item did you come away with? What did you manage to get?
Oh, I got a lot of gifts, but when I say a lot of gifts, it took me like 12 hours to get like six of them. Like it was like I'm glad I did it, but it was like going to the Ryder Cup bucket list. Glad I did it. Couldn't pay me to do it again. So so all right. Well, let's get into it. So guys, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna break down the Thursday and the Friday game. We do not have enough props out officially for the Sunday game, so we'll have to do that in a separate video. So we're just going to concentrate on these games. We do have best bets that are up. We'll tell you about those, so that way we can get cashing on Thanksgiving. I'm just telling you guys, cashing on props on Thanksgiving just hits just a little bit different. There's something pretty cool when you hit a prop on Thanksgiving and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go celebrate by getting another sandwich. All right, Jim knows what I'm talking about. Just stuff your
And if you lose, you go get another sandwich.
go get
so
another
that's the best part.
All right, we're gonna start with the Packers and the Lions. Corbin, coming to you first. Any props that you like in this game?
Yeah, I have two, one more stronger than the other. I'll start with the weaker of the two. Jameer Gibbs over 17 and a half longest rushing. We've discussed his stats before, but it's really weird. It's like every other week he just has a amazing game and then comes flying back down to earth. I picked his longest because I feel like that's one he can get even if they have struggle that week. I've mentioned I think the Packers' rush defense is falling backwards basically, and they only gave up I think it was 93 yards at the weekend. But the things I saw, they still the rush defense is slowly reverting back to how it was. So I quite like Jameer Gibbs at home with the speed he has to get a long run. Sorry here. My only other play
Real quick,
is
Corbin, I don't mean to interrupt, but just to harp on your point, look at his just rushing yards the last 6 weeks.
yeah.
Like, explain this 65, 136, 25, 142, 39, 219.
It's baffling.
It doesn't make any sense. So good luck figuring this one out. All right, what's your next prop?
Exactly. The other one is field goals. Actually, I love the over field goals in this game, but particularly the Packers side of the ball. 6 of 8, McManus has gone over 1.5 field goals. The Packers have had a couple of kickers this year, and they've all basically been going over this total. We've had some red zone issues. I think Jacobs will be back. I think for this game, he was dealing with an injury. Love, we mentioned it. He's been a bit flustered. I'm not the biggest Love supporter. I think we're going to have some red zone issues and kick a couple of field goals. So that's where I'm looking.
Jim?
Well, I'll go David Montgomery anytime touchdown. Gibbs coming off the absolute monster game. They're not silly over there. They know that they have to alternate, and maybe that's the explanation on the Gibbs workload is, you have a big week. Okay, we're going to run the other guy the next following week. I mean, you can go back and even look and see if it's good defense, is bad defense. It doesn't make sense that way either. So I would be looking at Montgomery to score. He's gone 3 games without it. He's due. David Montgomery, anytime touchdown with the Lions at home, just sounds right on Thanksgiving. And so does Amon-Ra St. Brown at home on Thanksgiving. If we look at St. Brown's splits, home and away, he is much better as far as scoring at home than he is away. We got him back on the board this week. He had the week off, so we'll get back to him. Corbin, curious about your opinion. Somebody's got to catch the ball. This Lions defense got eaten up by Jameis Winston. How high could we go on Watson? if he's the deep threat weapon. Can Jordan Love
He
complete a deep pass against a Lions defense that gave up
he
close
is,
to
but it's
300 yards
just
to Jameis?
there's just so many options. Like Dobbs, I think Wicks came back last week. I think Jaden Reed might. I've seen Reed practicing. I don't know if he's going to be back. That's like it is Watson out of all of them that I would trust the most. But we're talking about 4, 5, maybe 6 different guys here. Like as soon as it gets into that territory, it's just I can't trust anyone with any kind of confidence. But if I had to pick one, it's probably Watson, longest receiving again. So
I will go with. I don't know what to do with it. It's just I don't know. If you love it, go for it. You can get it at minus 430. Minus 433 is playable. Over 1.5 passing touchdowns for Jared Goff. Can I submit to you that since he's been with the Lions, he's thrown for 2 in every home game against Green Bay? This is just home games. 4 out of 5 this year, and you look at away games, 3 for 3. So home games, Jared Goff to throw a touchdown or throw 2 touchdowns at minus 143 at DraftKings, probably playable up to minus 150. Anything after that, you might want to parlay it with something. I don't know. Sometimes we hum and haw about the lines on these props, and then they end up just hitting game after game after game. So home against Packers, Jared Goff passing touchdowns. All right, we'll move on to the Chiefs. And how about them Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Say it. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw!
All right. Let's go to Jim. You're not a believer of the Dallas defense. I don't know. A few good quarters against Philly. They shut down that vaunted Raiders offense. What do you think here about this game?
I don't think the two guys could transform a defense. Look, they're coming off the big win. Philly does what Philly does. They just keep things close, and it bites them when it can. They can't. It was a pretty inept passing day, and Jalen Hurts still threw for 2 touchdowns against this Dallas defense. And the takeaway after the game was just how bad at quarterback Jalen Hurts is, yet he throws for 2 touchdowns. So I think you just go back to it. Now, the books have caught on. Obviously, we're sitting at a 2.5 on Patrick Mahomes. But I think you have to do something with Mahomes over 1.5. I'm a little terrified that this becomes the sieve run defense of the Cowboys, and we can look at Kareem Hunt. But it's the spotlight, and I'll take a page out of Corbin's book here. Greedy Patrick Mahomes on Thanksgiving wants to be the star. And he always is the star. I was dying at, about halftime in the Colts game, watching with someone. They go, this is it. This is the end of the Chiefs. Everyone keeps wishing it, but I got a feeling we're going to see this team. We're going to see them hitting their stride when they need to. I expect them to pull this win off. I'd be looking at a turnover for Dak. I believe they're going to be down. They're going to be tossing. We did get that home already last week, so really don't know where to go with the rest of the props. I know you guys have some opinions on some players, but I'll be looking at the passing game of Mahomes to exploit the Cowboys defense in some way or form.
All right, interesting. So you're pretty bullish on the Chiefs here. Corbin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to win quite easily. I have 3 props. They kind of roll into each other. So we're going to start off with Mahomes over his longest pass of 37.5 yards, I believe. You just look, he's done it in 5 straight. They have so many weapons now. If it's not Kelsey, it's Worthy. If it's not Worthy, it's Rice. There's just too many deep threats. Speed, particularly, obviously, with the last 2. The Cowboys' pass defense is the 4th worst. It's just awful. Which is then going to lead into, I also like Kelsey over his longest of 20.5. 4 or 5. The one he went under was last week where he had 17. Again, Cowboys are awful against the pass. It's clutch. They have to win this. You know that he's going to get the targets and receptions. Kelsey always seems to find a way, which is then going to lead into my little parlay, which is Chiefs money line and Kelsey 40 plus receiving yards. Again, I think the Chiefs are better all over the pitch against it. I think they win this game actually quite comfortably. It's also a must win at this point. Every game's a must win for the Chiefs. And then Kelsey 40 plus receiving. I think he's done it in all bar one game this season. It's such a low total for Kelsey. I really like that. It's plus 100 for that play. So you put those two pieces together and get plus 100. That's probably my favorite one. So
All right. They have really upped the numbers on George Pickens. 75.5. I'm still not taking unders on this one. I saw they sat him out of practice, and then he got listed as questionable. Yeah, the only questions is how many yards is he going to go over. I think he goes over this one. He's the number one. He's not the one dropping balls out there. He's the one making one-handed catches. So I think George Pickens, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then there was another passing prop. It may have been receptions. Was it Hollywood Brown? Yeah, 1.5. Again, juicy here. It went under against Indy, but I'll just go back to playing it consistently. I know that they've got all their guys back, but I think this game could be up and down the field. I think the Dallas defense is a little bit more bend, maybe don't break, but I think there's going to be opportunities. I think this game's way closer than you guys think. Give me Cowboys plus 3.5.
wow.
At home. Yeah. Chiefs win a real close one, and Dallas, I don't know. Dallas has a ball with, a chance to win, and there's a fumble, or Dallas does something stupid and clocks it on fourth down. Just something very Dallas-y. Just like something very Cowboys-y on Thanksgiving that makes everybody laugh, and then that's what leads the headlines. So,
What's the can you pull up the field goal props, please?
they are not up yet. They don't have
Okay.
them on
They're very-
props.
Corbin, I'm sure you have an opinion on that as well.
Oh, wait,
as
they do
me.
have them here.
Okay.
I was going to say they're always one and
play
a
'em.
half, no matter what the game is or anything. It's always 1.5.
I'm playing them both. I'll just throw that. I'm playing them both. The Chiefs kick field goals. They don't go for on fourth down all the time like some of these teams. And I think both these coaches understand that 3 points can sway a game of this magnitude. If you're thinking close game, we could get a lot of value in those two bets. I use that V word. Not everybody have a heart
Oh,
attack.
God.
Look at Aubrey
If it's
here.
going to be a
Going
close
under.
game in the third.
Yeah, Aubrey's one that at the start of the if anyone said Aubrey over 1.5 field goals, you would be like, sure, like that's great. Like he's the best kicker. But the amount of juice you've had to pay these last 4 games.
Oh,
like,
it's been crazy.
At one
Agreed.
point, this was like minus 250 for him to go over 1.5, and he went under, and it's still juice. You can't lay the juice on Aubrey. The Butker one is good. I think he had 4 last week.
Yeah.
So if I had to look anywhere, I'd go with the
been
Chiefs kicker. So
He's been hitting
This just seems to me
PATs.
like a defense that could stall them.
All right, we move on to the Ravens and the Bengals. But real quick, we mentioned that we have our plays up. If you want to get those plays for Thanksgiving and for Friday, that's fine. But we're running a great special. We do this every year. 7 days for $67. Don't buy a play. Don't buy 2 plays. Buy 7 days here. You get all plays in all sports. We're recording this on Wednesday, and we've got NBA and NHL props, and we're going to have those for the next 7 days. So you're going to get all of our NFL. You're going to get all of our NBA props. You're going to get all of our NHL props, and this is probably the best special we do all day in terms of bang for your buck with all the sports that we have going on. So 7 days, $67. Hit them up at WagerTalk.com. Go to the specials page, or you can get there faster to our page, wt.buzz/AL. Lock in these plays. Let's cash on Thanksgiving. All right, interesting game here. We got Joe Burrow coming back. And I can make the case that Joe Burrow is the healthiest quarterback in this game, which is just absolutely wild. So, Corbin, coming to you first. Where do you want to start?
well, we all know where Corbin's going when there's an injury involved. A player coming back from injury is like money to my ears. I don't care who it is. I don't care where they are, what sport. I'm playing their overs, and I'm doing the same with Joe Burrow here. He went under his passing yards in the 2 games that he played this season. If you pull up the last 10 games, he ended the season with 9 straight over this total, I'm pretty sure. Same with the completions, 24.5 completions. They kind of go hand in hand together. Not so good to start the year, but you look previous head-to-heads, you look last year, it all kind of tallies up really well. Again, this line is too low. You look at the quarterbacks that have played the Ravens, and it's like Tyrod Taylor had 222, McCarthy 248, Tua 261, Caleb Williams 285, Last two head-to-heads over, I love this play. I love Joe Burrow to go over. And if I think he's going to make a lot of passing, there's one prop that I'm very confused about. Is Noah Fan over 1.5 receptions. I played his yards last week, and I think he only had one reception for like 10, 11 yards or something. So he's gone under twice this whole year, which was against the Lions and obviously last week against the Patriots. But he had 4 in the opener with Burrow. So the whole Burrow coming back, he's not going to have the same production. I don't agree with that in the slightest. I don't understand why this isn't 2.5. So yeah, I really like the over 1.5 or the receiving on this play as well. It's basically the same. So.
Jim?
Love the 1.5 receptions. I wish somebody could explain to me why all of a sudden Mike Gesicki was the focal point of the entire offense last week.
That's what was
so weird,
ridiculous. 4 catches, 35 yards from Gesicki. Okay,
out of nowhere. What has Gesicki done the rest of this season?
He hasn't.
Nothing.
He just hasn't.
I didn't even know he was on the team.
So if we think he's not going to have the same production, Andy, if you could just pull that back up. So he only just went over with 4 receptions. And now we can take an under when he's flown underneath this every other game. Like,
I don't know what the deal was with it. I mean, he came back from an injury, but it still doesn't make any sense why it's Mike Gesicki's time to eat. It's our time to eat. It's Thanksgiving.
I quite like that under.
Not Mike Gesicki's time. So.
Well, bottom line for me is that this Joe Burrow or not, this Bengals defense is still absolutely atrocious. I know Keaton Mitchell didn't get any run, but I have to figure that against this defense, a number like 20 at minus 118, boy, is that low. Boy, is that low. We're talking about a draw play on 3rd and 20 that can get you 12 right there. If Lamar's not going to run, they're going to have to be a little creative, and I think they're going to have to give Derrick Henry a breather. The carries are the worry. If we get a 2-carry performance, we're dead. If he gets 6 carries, he flies over this number against the Bengals. We're looking at 40 yards. So we don't know what the game script can be. I don't know if I'm betting it beforehand, but I'll just say this number is one of those that you can look back on after the game and just say, Mike, I can't believe I got him at 18.5 yards rushing against the Bengals. The Bengals we're talking about here. As far as the passing game goes for Baltimore, I have no clue what to make of it with Lamar. I want to play the tight ends against Cincinnati, but we don't know which one it's going to be. Mark Andrews dropping passes. Isaiah Likely, very, very, very small role in the offense last week, but somebody has to catch the ball here, so who's going to step up? I believe Andrews had, 1 reception? So they very well could on Thanksgiving, if he gets 3 receptions, he sets, I believe, the Bengals, help me out here, Ravens record.
Yeah, the Ravens.
So we're looking at
record.
3 receptions here to get there. So, of course, they're going to line it at 3.5. If you feel like he goes over and they're going to want to do this on Thanksgiving, that's where you go with the receptions over.
I don't know what to make of Mark. I mean, look at these receiving totals.
It's just under. You can't look at that graph and go, I'm going to play an over.
I agree. I agree completely. I will go back to one of my biggest regrets from last week, and that's not playing the Lamar Jackson under his rushing. He comes back against Miami, and he only has 14. He's not rushing. Goes over against Minnesota and hurts himself again. And now he's got another injury. So he's got like 2 leg injuries and now a big toe injury. And this just screams I'm not going to rush. So 25.5 just seems like a lot for a quarterback that absolutely does not want to run. I'm just wondering if the books are telling us a story with this Keaton Mitchell and Derrick Henry thing. Derrick Henry only 64 yards, but they have 90.5. Some books have already popped up to 92.5. Could this be just the ton of Derrick Henry? So I would look at his rush attempts as opposed to his yards. They got to have these wins. Like they're in, well, they may not be because Pittsburgh is just free falling. And, Pittsburgh still, my favorite part about Pittsburgh is how they keep bringing back Mason Rudolph and thinking he's the answer. And then it turns out he's never the answer. And then I just think This is a week where you could really run Derrick Henry hard because he's got extra rest going into next week. So if you're going to use your hammer, this would be the week to do it. I know he had 21 carries last week, but he didn't have a bunch of yards. I think this is a rushing game for Derrick Henry. The fact that the books are putting out 90, it just
What's
kind
his
of
touchdown price?
minus 200.
Oh,
I know. I know.
yeah.
It's scary because
He's gonna,
he's got to get it from like 5 yards out. He doesn't.
you
He
just
can't.
you know he's going to get one. You know he's going to score a touchdown, and that's why. That's why
Probably.
you said it earlier. We sit here and we say minus 200, and it's like yucky, but it is probably just going to hit. So
It's
at which point, juice doesn't mean anything when you win.
Well,
So
it's yucky when it's 1st and 1 and they hand it to him, and then it's 1st and goal from the 4 because he got tackled for a loss of 3. So I don't know. All right, we move on to the Black Friday game. If you guys could please hit the like button, leave us a comment, tell us what your favorite prop. Tell us if you agree, disagree with any props that you've heard on the show. We got the Bears traveling to Philly. Philly crowd always in a festive mood. Corbin, Corbin, coming to you. What do you make of this Bears Eagles game?
well, I still know one thing that the Bears still suck, and nothing ever changes.
Wow, wow.
Yeah. I hate the Chicago Bears. They're awful. We're going to start with Jalen Hurts not to throw an interception. I mentioned last week how we got to keep playing it, and it hit again, and that's where the juice doesn't matter because if
Yeah,
it just keeps hitting, um, I always like parlaying anything over kind of minus 160. I always find a piece to put it with. I don't like actually laying the juice. Um, so you look, he's had one all year. The Bears are not a great team, but then you look, and the Bears have had 16 interceptions. They actually lead the league in interceptions. Not sure if that means much in this game because it all kind of comes down to how much Hurts throws the ball. Again, he just doesn't throw the ball a ton, which just means that he doesn't get that many interceptions. It's kind of how you think they're going to attack or the scoreline against the Bears. We'll then go for my second favorite prop, which is Adunze over 20.5 longest reception. Eagles are middle of the pack versus the run and the pass, so it doesn't really lean either way for me in that regards. Uh, 8 of his last 10, he's gone over, and you just look at who the Eagles have played and what their wide receivers did. I'm not going to read all these names because there's a hell of a lot. Pickens, Turpin, Lamb, all way over last week, all for Dallas. Week before, St. Brown and Williams both had huge games. Watson for the Packers, Robinson the week before, Justin Jefferson, Addison, Naylor, all way over these totals of just 20.5. Ajunze's their only real kind of deep threat on this team. I think 20.5 is way too low. I think he could have 25, even 30 longest reception. So, yeah, I really like that play.
All right, Corbin. Let's do a completely uncorrelated parlay. Adunze over his longest. Caleb under his longest. We got basically a 15 middle window here.
I have to work out what that price is on that whilst you
Okay,
talk
all
about
right.
it.
So I'll go through, but yeah, he's gone under 3 straight games. Now he's going into Philly. It's a long, long pass. All right, I will go to the rushing yards, and it's not happening for Saquon Barkley. It's just not. I think it's under 76.5. Are the Bears good at stopping the run? Absolutely not. Dallas wasn't supposed to be that good, and they got him for 22. He looks slow. There's just no explosion. The offense, it's like they try to be geared around him, and it's just not happening. So I will take Saquon under 76.5. I will also go to DeAndre Swift over his passing. He's gone he's gone over in 7 out of his last 8 games. You can do this number at 12.5 with 1 catch, just like you did last week. And it's just a weird scenario with Swift fumbles on the ball, and then Monongai gets most of the carries. They're not benching DeAndre Swift. They need him. They use both of these running backs, so they're not just casting one out. You got to keep his confidence. But what if Monongai gets some more carries and DeAndre Swift moves into the third down role? This is an Eagles team that gives up, third most receiving yards to running backs. So DeAndre Swift, I think, could be a sneaky play out of the backfield. And then there's something about Caleb Williams in this over 1.5 touchdowns. It's not like he does it a lot, but you can play this at 2-1. If they're playing from behind and they can't get this running game going with Swift and Monongai, I know Philly's got a really good pass defense, but 2-1 just, I don't know, it feels like a really, really good price on Caleb Williams. I know he's only done it 4 times, but I don't know. That's more of a gut feeling than anything. I was just looking at that going, that plus money price sounds pretty juicy. Did you find that? Is that parlay possible?
No, it wouldn't let you parlay it together.
Because they know. You know why? Because
they know.
Right in the middle is where it's going to
Right in the middle. It's no, thank you. Jim, do you like anything in this game?
I'm going to stick with Saquon Barkley with you. I'm going to play it a different way, though. I'm going to go Barkley over 20.5 receiving yards. Everything that you said rings true, and it looks like it's just not working. However, they have to get him the ball in this offense. And I would say a much more efficient way of doing it, which they did last week, was get him involved in the passing game. Also, the Steelers went over this number against the Bears. The Giants soared over this number with Singletary against the Bears. So this 20.5 is a very low number. A couple plays. If we're looking at 3 receptions to Barkley, I could see it getting there. I'm not going to buy into Jalen Hurts being this comfortable quarterback because he threw 2 touchdowns last week. It's just a clunky offense. And you see, if it's not there, like Corbin said, he's not going to throw it up for an interception. He's going to look for the check down. He's going to look for the dump off. And that's Barkley. So I only need one bet in this game to make money. That's the 20.5 for Barkley. That's it. Biggest thing, public service announcement, do not have 9 million different bets on these games while you've been drinking and eating all day. Take your profits and get out of the holiday. Take your money and run. One play, we're out.
I'm not kidding, Corbin, when I say this is the hardest, besides the Super Bowl maybe, this is the hardest day to prevent yourself from live betting. There are only 3 games, and yet when you're at Thanksgiving, pulling out you can just be at the day and be like, how did I have 30 bets today? And it's just like, mashed potatoes taste good. I'll fire one on Jamar Chase. Okay, like, Uncle's telling a boring story. Let's go now. Ooh, Burrow, pass. Like, I'm serious, man. Be careful, guy. That is Jim's best public service announcement. Be careful. It is way too easy to pull out your phone and start firing off bets, and at the end of the day, you're like, 3 games. How did I have 30 bets?
My favorite is we're out of wine. We're out of wine, but we have whiskey. So the bets really get going once you just go from wine to whiskey. That always works great.
Yeah, I put my bets in, and that's it. There's just
lock yourself out of your account.
Yeah, it really is the the truth. So, however, if you want to join us on bets that we made sober before that are properly researched and not going off of your gut feeling at 3:00 in the afternoon. Join us, but really get the 7-day special, $67. Lock it in now. Start getting those plays ASAP. For us, we have a Formula One race with a sprint race involved, so that's always good. And our NFL props, we also have NBA, NHL, all the good stuff that we normally have. So thanks very much for watching. Safe travels. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy yourself. Be responsible with your bankroll. And we'll have a video out on Friday. Get you ready for the Sunday games. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see you later. Take care.
Good luck.
Happy Thanksgiving.